What drew me to filmmaking was when Star Trek came out and Lost in Space. They were such fantastic TV series about space.
Bill Hedges loves sci-fi movies, so much that he's built his own spaceship set in his basement.
I try to keep the upstairs fairly normal looking. I figured downstairs I can, go wild, and that's what I did. I bought this book called The Making of Star Trek, and it detailed all of how, everything about how Star Trek was made, all the behind-the-scenes stuff. It had blueprints in there, how the stages were designed. So I can switch from day to night in here.
Hedges grew up on a farm outside Lyons. As a kid, he came to town for movies at the local theater.
Back in the 60s, the theater was a popular place for people to hang out, especially in a small town. That was the place to go on, Saturday nights, because that was before there was television. People would get their news from newsreels. I got a job here as a projectionist at the theater when I was 13, and I worked here, through high school, which was kind of a fun job to have. My favorite film was The Absent-Minded Professor. For graduation, my folks gave me a Kodak Super 8 movie camera, and I used that to make some little shorts, a lot of stop frame animation movies, and that was the start of my amateur filmmaking career. My folks gave me this.
After high school, Hedges served in the Navy and worked in the Fremont Post Office. He kept making home movies. But in 1985, the Lyons Theater closed.
I hated to see it disappear because it was such a source of entertainment for me, and being as I worked there too.
So Hedges bought as much of it as he could and built a home theater in his basement as an homage.
I had a lot of beach movies, spy movies back then, westerns, comedies. Well, this is some of the things I had saved from the Lyons Theater. So I used to go through these very same doors.
In 2014, the old Lyons Theater building came up for sale. He bought it. In the last couple years, Hedges has turned the old theater from a place designed to show movies into a place to make them.
In Nebraska, it's just all cornfields and rolling hills, so I had to make my own alien planet here. It's an incredible playground for an amateur filmmaker to have the facilities to film anything here. Just to have the space to actually build sets and miniatures is something I could never do at home. This is my stage 2, and I built a ancient ruins set in here.
He's built sets for films he plans to make, including a new series co-starring his cat.
Basically about me and my cat and adventures in space, meeting other aliens, and it's going to be kind of a parody, not a serious sci-fi, but I have about 12 episodes written so far, so. To match between the different scenes, this is a miniature of me and my cat in there, which also matches the interior of that spaceship and also the interior of my set in my basement. Still got to add the plexiglass to the window, though.
He builds props out of all kinds of things, many of them scavenged.
My series is going to have a lot of parodies in here, and one of them is from The Good and the Bad and the Ugly.
But it's not all sci-fi sets.
This is the original lobby, and I tried
He's restored part of the building to how it used to be, even reinstalling the original film projectors upstairs. This building lets Hedges tie past to present, making movies in the very space that cultivated his love of the art.
Other people in town seem to appreciate it too, because I get people asking for tours of it once in a while, which is fun to talk to them too, because they just share their memories of coming here and they point out things that they remember. So it's nice to preserve a little bit of that.
And he's never lost his childhood love of movie making. In 2015, he created a film about the history of Lyons. Now, he's working on training his cat for his next project.
down. Okay, high five. He high five me, he'll jump up on my shoulder, so I'm trying to train him to come and, stop, hit his mark. If you want to get a lot of views on YouTube, all you have to do is put a cat on the internet and you're automatically guaranteed an audience there. Cats in space, I think that's a winning combination.